from Pentucket Middle School Auditorium. Okay, we have a special treat for you today. It is the 2013 presidential debate. However, this presidential debate is unlike any other debate you may have ever seen, because our current leaders are nowhere to be seen. They've disappeared. And weirdly, due to some kind of strange cosmic accident, we have these famous Roman leaders who've shown up on Capitol Hill, and they all want to be president. So, today, we got a bunch of questions which our audience is going to ask our wannabe presidents on the stage. And we don't have much time, so we're just going to get right to it and find out who these candidates are. Alright, without further ado, on the stage we have our heralds for each Roman candidate. Can we please find out who is our first Roman candidate? Matthias Kadarius. Please introduce us to our first Roman candidate today.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am proud to introduce a minted, a brave, and a smart candidate. His name is Marcus Licinius Crassus. And I'm sure that you've all heard that he was very rich. So rich that he could buy his own army. And that's not all. He fought and won with his own army. How many other candidates do you know that bought an army and won? That's right, none. Now put your hands together for the minted Marcus Licinius Crassus.
All right, put your hands together. All right. And we have the commercial video. Here it is. Let's go.
Today's put the poster in front of the camera. Pollution is getting worse. I'm the man who plans to make a big positive change in all of these issues that are currently in our country today. My name is Marcus Licinius Crassus. Marcus Licinius Crassus, and I approve this message.
All right, thank you, Marcus Licinius Crassus. Let's find out who our next candidate is. Okay, Harold. Okay, Rachelus Manningus.
I have the pleasure of introducing a very great man. He is the last of the 5 good Roman emperors. He led Rome out of difficult times. He made treaties with his enemies and always made decisions based on solid reasons and no emotion. Please join me in welcoming and introduce our next great leader, Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius. James, tell us who we've got.
Hello everybody. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you the one and only Scipio the Great. He is the perfect choice for president. He will strengthen our military and economy. Not only will he be active behind White House doors, but he will be active in the community and in military operations. I mean, he defeated Hannibal in the Second Punic War when Hannibal was the greatest military strategist in the world.
Hi everyone. The Roman Emperor Gaius, better known as history to Caligula, is one of the famous emperors that ever lived. This is Caligula. He is crazy. He is crazy and insane. Acts are stories that have been told and retold throughout many centuries since his violent and bloody death. His repeated phrase is, "Remember, I have the right to do anything to anybody." He tried to make a horse a council and married his own.
Welcome all students, staff, etc. And thank you for coming to our Roman presidential debate of 2013 here at the Tucker Regional Middle School. This year's competition seems intense, and I can't wait to see the outcome of this debate. But here today I am representing the greatest, wisest, strongest, most powerful leader I know. He came, he saw, he conquered. So please give a warm welcome to the best of the best, the most fantastic Julius Caesar.
I have the honor of introducing a great man. I know he will do all he can to make our country right. He will work day and night. His plans will burn like a fire to make our living standards higher. He doesn't just fiddle about, so let's give a great big shout to my friend and hero, our next president, Emperor Nero.
Nice, bit of poetry from Nero. Okay. Okay, so let's get to our questions, all right? These guys all had important jobs in the past. They had to deal with a bunch of issues that Rome had to face, but can they, I know our audience is wondering, deal with the issues that currently face the US? Are they the right stuff for a modern day president? So, without further ado, let's go to our first question. Okay, do you have a question for our candidates? Okay, so let's stand up and let's hear it.
In today's world, the environment is a mess. The ozone layer is depleting at a rapid pace. Global warming is causing the icebergs to melt. Also, we are losing fresh air with everyone chopping down our rainforests. With that in mind, what are your ideas on protecting and preserving the environment?
What are your ideas on protecting and preserving our environment? Julius Caesar, what words do you have?
I, the amazing Julius Caesar, have seen in my short time here in the 21st century that the environment is a big issue. Some big issues in the environment would include the degrading ozone layer, changing climates, toxins, the diminishing species, and our dying oceans. I have several ideas on how to solve each of these problems. One would be to limit car emissions by using cleaner fuel and encouraging public transportation, which would limit the amount of carbon we put into our ozone layer for years to come. Also, we could limit the amount of deforestation, which would clean the air, and we could preserve and it would also preserve habitats for some endangered species.
Thank you, Julius Caesar. Okay, so good point. Let's see, what would you like to ask our Roman candidates?
Does our current level of debt concern you? If so, what is your plan for helping us?
Rome's richest man. Let's go to Marcus Aurelius.
In the small amount of time I have been in the 21st century, I have seen that the U.S. economy is in a terrible state. We are in trillions of dollars of debt, and I don't want to see this nation collapse financially. In about 15 years, federal debt is predicted to become unsupportable. There is so much opportunity and potential in this nation, and I would hate to see it go to waste just because of some sort of problem that I know I can think through and solve. I believe that slowly raising the amount of taxes paid by the upper class, we can slowly and surely inch our way out of this debt. Also, by raising the tax money coming from the rich, we can help diminish the immense income gap between the rich and the poor. I remember having a brilliant thought. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. Our world needs to come to a realization that we can't just expect the next generation to take care of it for us. It needs to be made known that we can't just think and act with our heart and what we feel, but we have to think with our minds. Part of the U.S. is growing, and as a nation, we need to work together. We have made enough mistakes, and we have learned that we need to put our youth to action. Thank you.
Good, Joe. Yes, what question do you have for our candidate?
The United States is in a ton of debt. One big spending problem has to do with the military. What is your opinion on the defense budget? Would you raise or lower the defense budget?
Would you raise or lower the defense budget? Wow, okay. Marcus Crassus, it's all yours.
I, Marcus Licinius Crassus, believe that we should raise the defense budget because we need to protect ourselves to be ready for any attacks on the United States. From my years of being in war, I realized that we should not run away from a fight. If there's a problem with another country that will affect us negatively, we should solve it. We can't walk away from a problem. The problem won't just stop if we ignore it. Another reason I believe that we should raise the defense budget is because it will lead us to becoming one of the stronger countries. After all, a strong military leads to a strong country. I should know because I, Marcus Licinius Crassus, once had my very own army to success. I paid for it too, in case you all wanted to know.
All right, thank you. Very rich.
Do you think it's acceptable or okay to go to war? Should the public have a say in the decision? When we go to war, would you let the people in on knowing when or who we go to war with? Do you think it's important to let them help you make the decision?
Is it important to listen to the public's opinion on whether or not we as a nation in the United States go to war? Caligula.
Is it acceptable to go to war? Well, duh. Okay? If we didn't, every country in the world would walk over us like we're a welcome mat. I, Caligula, am all for the public knowing that we're going to war, but it's the reason for us going to war that are more intense for some people. Younger humans don't understand fully what is happening, and they might take it the wrong way. Older humans are more intelligent, and they understand that there are benefits to war. Like, for example, you get to stab people with sharp objects. I mean, that's pretty beneficial, if you ask me. I believe that the public should have a say in the things that involve them. For example, how their money is spent on war. If they believe the price of a war is too high, they should be able to disagree, because it's their money being used. Anything else really isn't their concern. So yes, in conclusion, I think it is acceptable to go to war, and the public can have a say in the matter if they prove themselves worthy. If not, then I'll just cut their head off. Just as simple as that.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay.
We are discussing here today about the occurring wealth gap in the USA. The wealth gap is the gap between the rich and the poor, which is something very serious and something that is currently an issue. This is an issue around the world, and the wealth gap is a problem for populations and areas of people individually. So, what I am asking you candidates here today is, what are your ideas on closing the wealth gap, and do you think that there should be more income equality between the rich and the poor?
Should there be more income equality between the rich and the poor? Scipio.
It is not a problem, or it is a problem, that half the world only lives on $2.50 a day. That is very sad. I can say that we can change that. We should actually pay, we have people like Bill Gates that have, I think it was $57 million, I think. I looked it up. He's so rich, and people with $2.50 a day, it's just, you gotta have people pay money to help out the poor. It's just, you can't die, with no food. You need food, so pay for it. Bill Gates, thank you.
Favorite, Bill Gates, thank you.
Caligula. This one right here. Okay, so.
Do you think fixing the world hunger poverty is a property of yours?
Yep, is it a priority? Good job. Okay.
Being as smart and intelligent as I, Julius Caesar, am, it is easy to see that world hunger and poverty is a big issue. So yes, it's on my priority list. I have thought of a few ideas on how to end this ongoing problem. One idea is to support small farms everywhere. Small farms provide a good source of food, and if we support enough of them, they could grow into large farms, just creating more food. I love food. Another idea is, the U.S. loves meat, and that could actually become a problem. After some research, I have found some interesting things about the meat topic, such as 40% of grain crops are going to feed livestock and fish. With this problem in mind, only 2.5% of the food given to these animals shows up in our calorie consumption when we eat these animals, which is just a waste. These and other ideas are just some things that I would be able to provide yes, you heard me right, when I am elected. Thank you.
All right, again, very confident. Nero, world poverty and hunger, is that something that concerns you?
Both hunger and poverty are a priority of mine. I believe in helping the poor, and I will lower taxes and allow rights for people in the country. Also, we do have things set up to help people who need help in this area.
All right, thank you, Nero. Let's see if I can get this one straight. All right, I think that's our final question, right? Yeah. That's our final question today from our audience. You've got a lot of thinking to do, all right? If one of these guys is going to be the U.S. president, maybe we should hear one more thing from them, if I can get this microphone, or else we use the one on the podium. All right, any last statements, any reasons? Can you tell the audience why you think you should be president, Marcus Crassus?
Want to stand up? No, sure. I am a smart, brilliant, and minted man who will make this country a better place. Voting for me, Marcus Licinius Crassus, will only help you have a greater and wealthier life.
Okay, Marcus Crassus, round of applause. Marcus Aurelius.
I, Marcus Aurelius, believe that I would be the best leader for this nation because all the decisions I make would be in the favor of everyone, and I'm not crazy, so,
All right, thank you, Marcus Aurelius. Scipio.
I'm Scipio, and I'd be a great president because I'm brave, strong, and I win everything. So why don't you just drop a piece of paper in a box with my name on it?
All right, Scipio. Okay, we've got 3 more before you leave here today and have to think about your vote.
You should vote for Caligula as President of the United States because I'm going to bring changes to this country, whether you like it or not. And also, I will make sure that every last person that doesn't vote for me will be burned, stabbed, or chopped into tiny pieces. So keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. Okay, Julius Caesar.
So in conclusion, it's obvious that I, Julius Caesar, am the best candidate for 2013 President of the United States. I understand all the problems facing the United States currently, and with my knowledge, I provide the ability to solve problems effectively and efficiently. Thank you for your time, and vote Julius Caesar 2013.
Okay, let's hear from our final candidate, Nero.
I think I should be president because I will stick to my word and make this the best country it can be and more. There will no longer be debt, and I will end wars and solve world hunger.
Okay, thank you much. Thank you very much. All right, so our last words. We've almost finished here today. Okay, voters. The people voting are actually going to watch this film
Oh, gee.
that Danielle is recording. So, when you vote, you are voting for. Please keep in mind, whoever kept and stayed in character the best, okay? If their answers reflected the personality and the characteristics of the Roman leader. So let's think about that. That's number 1. Number 2, did their answers show that they had researched and understood some of these current issues, okay? Not necessarily who had the best solutions, but who understood the issues the most. That's big. Think about that. And 3, we want to think about the campaign team, okay? So a lot of work went into, no, it wasn't just the candidates on stage. They had a team behind them who did the poster, who made the video. So think about the amount of effort that you think went into the answers and the video and the poster. So with those 3 categories in mind, I would like you to think about your vote. Voting's important. Vote. It matters. Okay. And that's it. Let's have a round of applause, please, for candidates.
Just behind the bridge, he lays her down. He frowns, gee, my life's a funny thing. Am I still too young? He kissed the woman there. She took his ring, took his babies. It took him minutes, took her nowhere. Heaven knows he'd have taken an